That is the cider and the Perrier. We were told.
Sparkling water.
You both get nothing and you'll like it. Hi, I'm LTT Moose.
And I'm Joe Stevens.
And this is the Equestrian Inquirer. We're here.
Come back, SilvaHound. See, there's so much more love to be had without sparkling cider. But thank you. We are here with Everfree Network at Las Pegasus Unicon, and we have Mandopony and SilvaHound. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank you.
And we have loved your guys' music throughout the fandom. I mean, you were one of the first people, and you continue to impress and blow us away with the tracks and everything. And walk us through your most recent track. I know that just exploded on YouTube the second you premiered it.
You never listen to my music, do you?
No, I don't know.
It's okay.
he plays a violin, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. Pluck it like that.
Funny. Violin and mandolin have the exact same tuning.
That's
ADG. The more you know.
Da, da.
Actually, so I'm actually trying to remember what was my last song. Was it "Find My Wings"?
It was Kindness.
Kindness. Yeah,
Sorry,
that was the big one. That was a lot of fun to do because anytime me and Acoustic Brony can work together, it's always a treat.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I mean, they're so good. And Jimmy wrote "Loyalty" last time, and I was asking him, okay, so like, what elements are you like? Do you have? Which ones do you not have ideas for right now? And he's like, well, kindness is being kind of tough. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. And so I did some lyrics and stuff and did the music, and then got it to them, and then Ed wrote out the drum track with MIDI and everything, and brought it back to me, and then Jimmy laid down an amazing guitar solo, and then it was done, and I'm really glad that people seem to like it.
And how many views is it up to now?
Oh goodness, I'm not even sure.
Someone get their smartphones.
It's in the millions, I think, right?
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, and everyone like really jumped into it. And SilvaHound, we've been trying to get you in front of the camera for 3 conventions now. We finally did it. We finally did it.
Yeah, I've been all these past conventions. I've just been like running up and down, trying to get stuff organized, and just trying to
Avoid us.
No. No, just trying to be organized and just trying to make sure everything is 100% top notch for the performances, so that everybody who sees the performances can really get the full effect of what we're trying to bring.
And we appreciate you guys joining us and everything. And the cool thing is you guys are here. You're going to be performing live for us.
Aye. That's true. I'm super excited about that.
And what are you going? You guys have a set list planned on what you're actually going to be playing for us tonight?
Half.
I've got about half of it planned out right now too. Yes.
Have you ever heard of Andalusian throat yodeling? It's actually quite ingenious.
Have you ever heard of procrastination?
No, I am completely unfamiliar with that. I'm always prepared for every interview that I've ever done, such as this one.
Yes, exactly.
I will say I've done a lot of interviews, and you guys are consistently like number 3 at least. on
consistently number 3. Consistently. We're not the worst.
Out of 4, not the worst.
No, seriously.
So, but Sylvie, you were telling us before we got on the air that you were actually going to be premiering a new track for us tonight?
Yeah. It's a Raise This Barn remix. I've been working on it for like a month, since the song came out. It was a really good song. Of course, then anything by Daniel is a good song.
Pretty much.
And Stefan and William and them. But I just really decided to jump in and just kind of give it a nice little house flavor, and it's really energetic, really, really powerful stuff. So I think you guys will like it.
I was going to ask, is it a little bit difficult to take certain genres and mix them into sort of like the house thing, like taking a country song or a square dance type of thing like that? How difficult is it to take a square dance and make it into a house song?
Sometimes it's not that hard. It's just like when you find the inspiration, because like, if you remember months ago, Alex S made a dubstep remix of "Loyalty," which was like really, really nice. But it was originally an acoustic song turned into a dubstep song, and it's just that when you find certain elements in a song that you like, you just kind of take those elements and then you just kind of make them into whatever you want to make them. Of course, it takes skill and practice and whatnot.
Oh no, it doesn't.
Just a little bit, but more than anything, it takes a little bit of imagination. And if you're willing to take it there, why not?
Yeah. Remember, kids, believe in yourself, and the magic will be inside you.
Yes, it's kind of don't listen to that. It's kind of cool though. Like if you think about it, a hoedown, hoedown is a dance song.
Yeah.
And then if you bring that over to just another dance genre, whether it's house or disco or whatever, I mean, you'll probably find common elements there.
Yeah.
And you'll find things to draw from. You just have to, like you said, be creative and not be afraid to do it. No fear, never.
Well, speaking of Raise This Barn and other songs by Daniel Ingram that came out in season 3, there was a lot of really good songs that came out in season 3. Was there any that really inspired you, or you particularly really liked that came out this season 3?
I'm still digesting the finale that I thought was beautiful, and
7 songs.
yeah, and I so far I think I've actually only seen the episode once, but I want to go back and watch it many more times and just digest those songs, because I'm pretty sure that one of those will be on my list for favorite.
Yeah, that episode definitely seems like it rewards repeat viewings
Yeah,
because there's just so
absolutely.
much going on at that time.
Yeah, I loved it.
And I actually messaged Daniel. I said, prepare for a Ballad of the Crystal Empire remix when that song first came out. And then I never really got to it. And then, but then I heard the finale, and I really, really, really want to remix Find a Way.
Yeah,
Like really bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's
beautiful.
Yeah. Like I just feel like some type of Swedish house.
I did not know that was a genre.
I know what that is.
Swedish house.
yeah.
No, it's very different than the Swiss house. I think you have the Swiss house.
Right.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
much more a fan
Family
of
office.
Jorst Bergenstein. Yes.
No, like it's stuff like Avicii, Swedish House Mafia, and
Cool.
Alesso, and stuff of that. Like, yeah, it's pretty recognizable. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
Somebody can sample that and go ahead and put that out on the
do it.
remix.
I swear to God, if Toon comes out with a remix, I'm gonna hurt you.
He will.
Be you wanna be.
love you too.
Love you.
Just
love
saying,
you so
I
much.
love you.
Shout out to
See
Blood
ya,
and
BronyCon.
Tombstone, indeed. Yes.
See ya, BronyCon.
And so we were. You guys have done music for beyond the community several years. But where do you see your music progressing you in the future? Where do you see your Brony music leading you to beyond your musician careers?
Food, hopefully. Yeah. I've been.
It seems that everybody's here just hungry. Lee was hungry.
Very hungry. Yeah. For me personally, like, some of the first professional stuff that I ever did was a reimagining of "In My Life." The Beatles song was picked up for a commercial in New York, and
Congratulations.
thank you. That was about that was right as I became a Brony. Actually, that was like September of 2011, I guess it was. So I've always had in my mind to do composing either for television or for commercials or film, and doing a lot of session music work. And most recently, actually it was William Anderson that told everybody at EQLA that we were trying to do something together, to get me in on the score.
And for those who don't know, William Anderson is the head composer at MLP. He does all the wonderful music in the score.
Yeah,
the score.
actual background score. Anything that's not a song by Daniel Ingram, that's what William does. And
Stuff that just sort of pops up in your head, as you're just wandering out through the day. All of a sudden,
Exactly.
background music just starts playing in your head. You're like, where is that from?
I don't know why that was Little April Showers.
Yeah.
But anyway, so I did record some mandolin for that was going to be in the season finale, but I think that it got cut. I'll just go ahead and say I think that it got cut, because if I'm not mistaken, I think that Daniel and Stefan actually composed all the rest of it. But I mean, that happens all the time, and something that a lot of composers do is they will work on, obviously hours and hours of music, and if something doesn't fit for a particular episode for whatever reason, they keep it and then they recycle it later on. A lot of times that's what an assistant composer's job will be to know what the entire repertoire of what a composer was, what they've done, and then go through an episode and then pick out where can we reuse stuff, and then where do you need to compose new. Get it down from 15 minutes of music composing to 10. I mean, that can make a 5-day composing schedule much, much easier to bear.
So you're just going to be watching the entirety of season 4, listening for a
Where's
mandolin.
that mandolin?
I think I hear it.
It's this little slow.
Oh wait, no, hold on. We can't do that. That's season 4 material. That's cut. No, don't tell anyone.
But anyway, that's all that I've done. But as far as
I can't wait for EQD to put this on their front page. Mandopony confirmed for scoring season 4.
No. Unreliable sources have
I have to
confirmed.
say, though, it's really funny how a lot of people are giving me messages and stuff like, oh, yeah, I totally heard your mandolin on that song, wink, wink. And I'm like,
No, you
no, you
didn't.
didn't. No, you didn't. If you had heard it, it was just little chops like that. But it was really short, like 7-second cues. And I'm just glad to open up that door because William is an awesome guy. And he does a lot of other work as well. And it's just
Hey, you
nice.
make those connections. You never know where they're going to go at that
Exactly,
point.
Yeah. So what are you doing next?
Yes. What does the future hold for SilvaHound?
Famous, will you be able to buy us food?
Yeah.
I hope so.
I have a lot of stuff. Actually, I was supposed to there's a lot of things on my plate. There's supposed to be a demo I was supposed to record for Michelle Creeper.
Okay, cool.
That's pretty much overdue for like 2 months now. And there's just like so many different projects that I've been doing in the community and outside the community. Basically just getting my name out there, you know. And like I've been in contact with like a lot of managers.
Cool.
I'm actually a blog writer now for, I don't think I can say that yet, but I am.
Spoiler
Totally
alert.
not.
I'm a writer for a blog that you guys will probably find out in the future.
Mando's running this interview now, by the way.
Yes, yes. By the way, so
Yeah.
how do you feel about writing? When did you first get into writing?
I got into writing when I was like 4.
Nice. I wrote My Brother Eats Dog Poo, and I thought it was really prolific.
Yeah, like I made a whole jazz concerto around that.
And the Mozart of this generation.
I'm like the modern day Sun Ra.
The problem, I'm sitting here thinking like, oh really? Is it legit? Because I could believe it, but
You could tell us anything right about now. We would be like, oh, that's fascinating. That's reality.
Now, I'm actually pulling out my Twitter because we've got several questions from Twitter. So if you don't mind, we'll take some questions from the internet. Thank you for watching, by the way.
No, I mean oh yes.
From Fraser Drysdale, thank you for the question. I believe this is an interest to both of you, but it says, how do you deal with bullying? You know, you're very visible parts of the community. You're very out there with your music, and you have to be to promote your music. Yeah. So do you have any instances where you have bullying, and do you have any advice to dealing with it for a musician who may be hesitant to get out there because of a fear of that?
Always try to hit the pins between the 1 and the 4. Bullying. I thought you were talking about bowling. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Oh,
No.
okay, 'cause
Yeah,
I
that's a totally different topic.
I suck at I suck at bowling, and I suck at dealing with bullying. So like,
Your solution to both is just to hide in a corner,
yeah,
shivering.
kinda, yeah.
But ironic, I actually talked to somebody about 2-3 days ago who was like going through some bullying stuff, and I was just telling them, just well, first off, report it, to anybody, who is willing to do something about it. Preferably not a law person, but
Authority figure of some sort.
that's the word, authority figure.
Teacher, adult, anything like that.
Just
Overlord.
no.
Trixie.
There you go. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
she would straighten those bullies out right quick. Strap him to her throne, whip him a couple of times. That'll straighten anybody out. That's how I deal with bullies.
Is this a
I'm gonna
interview still?
I'm gonna dethrone.
It could be.
I'm gonna dethrone Trixie. No. I can't wait for Seth to blast that too. Hey Peter.
And so we've got another one from Xander Lodge. And this is a good one. I like this. Thank you for the question again. How does it feel when you look back and see how far you've come? I mean, you've been doing music for a long time. Mm-hmm. Obviously, there's going to be some improvements when you work so hard for so long. How does it feel looking back where you started and where you are now?
It's painful listening to stuff you've done like 8 years ago.
Oh my God.
You listen to
You look
that
at your
and
old work and you're like, I thought that was good.
but
Oh my God.
But
yeah.
it is good too though, because like I think it's really important to take pride in whatever steps you do make, even if you feel like, oh, I sucked really bad back then and I still suck now. No, you don't. There's always growth, and you've got to acknowledge that. So it does feel good to look back at stuff that I did 5 or 6 years ago.
The only way to see that where you are is to see where you've come from.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Trying to get philosophical with us, Moose.
I will be dropping these Confucius-like gems all throughout the convention.
No, but I'm pretty much the exact same way, and I remember when I first started music in like 2006, 2006. Not like 2006, and I was doing nothing but hip hop and like really simple stuff too. But like I didn't really get into house music until maybe like I've always been a fan of it, but I never really got into actually making it until like 2008.
Cool.
So, you know.
Are there any genres that you would like to expand to, like you haven't tried yet?
Actually, yes, I would like to do jungle.
Cool.
I would like to do jungle. I'm really, really interested in trying to do some type of jungle track. I don't know. I see. I've done house, dubstep, drum and bass.
I'd like to hear Mando actually, if you have a response to that same question. Is there other different? Is there a different style that you're wanting to jump into in that?
Another style that I want. Well, I mean, I've always looked at music from a composer's standpoint, and it's sort of like being a foodie or something. You know, it's like, what flavor do you not want to try? You want to try everything, at least to know it, especially if you're a chef. So, like, for me, I feel like the best thing is to just be extremely versatile, and so I do want to try all sorts of different music. Not everything I do is always a success. A lot of the stuff that I've tried to do before in other genres hasn't worked at all. I grew up listening to, a lot of classic rock and folk and pop from the 40s, 50s, and 60s on to the 90s and stuff. And pretty much rock pop has been my primary focus, but I think I'd really love to sit down and just like write a symphony sometime. Like that.
Ooh, wouldn't that be fun?
Yeah, that would be really spend a long time. Like this guy, he just said, I've been spending like a month working on this one track. I'm like, I spent 5 hours on this song. It's taking me forever. And then I put it up on YouTube, and I'm like, why doesn't everybody like it? Why isn't it? It's mastered kind of good.
I'm not even gonna lie. That was like literally me 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Like I always
I
thought
think that's real maturity. Is whenever you get to the point, it's like I'm gonna sit back and actually let this wait on it and refine it and really make it good.
Craft the music rather than just let it happen.
Just putting it out
because
there.
I always assumed that like people would like take like hours out of the day to like make a song from scratch, mix, master, compose, and just like completely finish it. But then I just kind of wisened up to
the way it's
the musician community.
Yeah.
And just like musician standards.
Yeah, well, I would say probably like the biggest
like professional musician standards.
Yeah, for sure. The biggest learning experience that I ever had was working on Michelle Creber's album, where not only were her parents very very exact about what they wanted, and especially like the engineers and stuff. So it made you. This wasn't just a simple guitar track that you were recording. It had to be absolutely perfect, and it had to be recorded in just this way, and then you go through and you find out that that it is a long process, and in some ways it's actually freeing. I think, because it's not like, oh, if I don't do this in 2 days, I'm not a good musician.
Right. That's also, I think, a symptom of being, a major figure on the internet is that the internet is so fast that if you don't get stuff out right there and then it becomes stale.
Yeah. You do kind of start to worry a little bit that if I don't put something out every 1 or 2 weeks, people, because they do it. The internet has a short attention span, and that's okay. I have a short attention. Oh, there's Peter New.
Oh my God.
And there's Bob.
And I actually have one last question for you. This was actually brought to your attention. He says, "Who is your favorite composer?" And the person who asking this says there is only one right answer.
William Anderson.
That question actually came from Stefan. So
I was joking, Stefan. Come on.
Well, yeah,
Stefan Andrews.
I could have told you that one.
If I was actually going to pick one, though,
Peter New is my favorite composer.
Master of such hits as Yup
and Nope.
Yeah.
That one controversial, by the way.
B-side.
Nice. Howard Shore was the guy that got me into composing whenever I was like 16, and I started listening and really taking it seriously. That was what made me realize, this is something I would really, really love to do. So probably the most influential, but favorite, definitely Stefan.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Thank you, Stefan.
Thank you.
And for me, like, I like composers, I like, scores and whatnot, but stuff that like really catches my ear is like really, really original stuff, like stuff that people don't even like really think about.
Yeah.
So like
Stuff that doesn't even exist, it's not out yet. It's
like even that. My personal favorite composer is John Cage.
Cool. Yeah.
because like he just like takes like concepts and he just like he does this thing. It's not necessarily melodic, but it's music.
It's emotive.
It's emotive, and like I remember this one composition he did by hooking up cactuses to some microphones. And he was,
The man made a
Don't knock
cactus
it.
sing.
yeah, and he
Awesome.
plucked the cactuses with a guitar pick, and
It
he
resonated.
it resonated, and it
Awesome.
Like
He's a mad scientist of music.
like
And you're gonna remix it, right?
Nice. Next week. Yes.
no,
I mean,
some drums.
and that really gets into just sound design and sound engineering and
Yeah.
just the whole, science of acoustic
yeah, and I think
craziness.
I still think his most brilliant composition is 433.
Oh, the silence. Yeah, yeah.
Because like it was a concept of the sounds around you.
Cool.
The composition and it's an actual composition too. In fact, there's 3 parts into it, but the whole track is silent, but it's about the concept of silence.
And the ambient noise that would happen in the theater.
Yeah, he said in a 1982 documentary that silence, is everywhere around you, and everything that you hear is just bubbles on the surface of silence that's just popping.
Yeah.
I just really think,
Deep.
I know, I just really think stuff like that is just like really,
Inspiring.
really, inspiring.
Yeah.
Just like really deep into the whole entire music composing spectrum. It's just something to think about,
Well, I think it's really refreshing too because, like, especially if you're coming to it from a very traditional standpoint, like note, 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 note.
Right.
And then I will emote this feeling by building a crescendo here to the B part or whatever.
This is the tearjerker part
Yeah,
right
exactly.
here.
It becomes the minor 4 chord, It's like you can make it over technical, I think, sometimes, and then you kind of like can lose the emotion. And if you're brave enough to go into those realms and really think of it again as sound and emotion and all that together, I think it's inspiring also from a traditional standpoint. You can go back and come to it with fresh ideas.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, guys, for this interview. This has been so much fun. Always fun seeing you guys. And I know, before we go, I want to see if you guys have anything to say to the community. I know we've loved your music. The community has loved your music. If there's anything you'd like to say to the people watching.
Thank you a million times. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah. And watch out for Double Rainboom, the new cartoon that's coming out. I'm going to be scoring that over the next
You're scoring Double Rainbow.
Yes, I'm extremely happy. If anybody saw the animatic, that was all my work. And then the actual official teaser that came out was my music, but it was reorchestrated by David, who's also a member of the team and a brilliant, really great guy. So I'm really happy to be working on that, and I should be getting that out pretty soon. But so watch out for that. That's all I have to say. Just watch out for Double Rainbow. It's gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Thank you for liking my stuff, and buy the Bass Rocket EP.
Do it.
Yeah.
Buy it now.
Be sure to watch more from Mandopony and SilvaHound. See Double Rainboom and your LP. Go out there
Bass
and buy
Rocket.
Bass Rocket LP.
EP.
So the EP. Sorry. Thank you very much.
And yup and nope.
And
Yeah.
Yup and Nope. It is a
Yeah.
side A,
Platinum-
side B,
platinum selling.
double
Dub
check.
45.
Dub 45.
I have it.
Thank you.
I'd buy that for $1.
Thank you very much for watching, everybody. This is Joe Stevens.
And this is LTT Moves. And I just realized something. Mando, what are you doing out of your cage? No, Mando,
Get
come
him
on.
back!
Come on. I got
This
a
is
situation.
Okay, get him. Go get him.
You
Go
gotta
get
keep
him.
that
Go
heart rate
get
down,
him.
buddy.
We're on
Come on.
Equestria and Everfree Network. Stay tuned. Thank you.
It's done, and I'm really glad that people seem to like it.
And how many views is it up to now?
Oh goodness, I'm not even sure.
Someone get their smartphones.
It's in the millions, I
text. It's
think,
just a
right?
That would be great.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great song, and everyone really jumped into it. And SilvaHound, we've been trying to get you in front of the camera for 3 conventions now. We finally did it. We
know.
finally did it.
Yeah, I've been all these past conventions. I've just been running up and down, trying to get stuff organized, and just trying to
Avoid us.
No. No, just trying to be organized and just trying to make sure everything is 100% top notch for the performances so that everybody who sees the performances can really get the full effect of what we're trying to bring.
And we appreciate you guys joining us and everything. And the cool thing is you guys are here. You're going to be performing live for us.
Aye. It's true. I'm super.
Wait.
Where is the cider and the Perrier? We were told.
Sparkling water.
You both get nothing and you'll like it. Hi, I'm LTT Moose.
And I'm Joe Stevens.
And this is the Equestrian Inquirer. We're here.
Come back, SilvaHound. See, there's so much more love to be had without sparkling cider. But thank you. We are here with Everfree Network at Las Pegasus Unicon, and we have Mandopony and SilvaHound. Thanks so much for joining us, guys.
Thank
No
you.
problem.
And we have loved your guys' music throughout the fandom. I mean, you were one of the first people, and you continue to impress and blow us away with the tracks and everything. And walk us through your most recent track. I know that just exploded on YouTube the second you premiered it.
You never listen to my music, do you?
No, I don't know.
It's okay.
Of course, then anything by Daniel is a good
Yes,
song.
pretty much.
and Stefan and William and them. But I just really decided to jump in and just kind of give it a nice little house flavor, and it's really energetic, really powerful stuff. So I think you guys will like it.
I was going to ask, is it a little bit difficult to take certain genres and mix them into sort of like the house thing, like taking a country song or a square dance type of thing like that? How difficult is it to take a square dance and make it into a house song?
Sometimes it's not that hard. It's just like when you find the inspiration, because like if you remember months ago, Alex S made a dubstep remix of Loyalty, which was like really nice, but it was originally an acoustic song turned into a dubstep song. And it's just that when you find, certain elements in a song that you like.
Excited about that.
And what are you going? You guys have a set list planned on what you're actually going to be playing for us tonight?
Half.
I've got about half of it planned out right now too. Yes.
Have you ever heard of Andalusian throat yodeling? It's actually quite ingenious.
Have you ever heard of procrastination?
No, I am completely unfamiliar with that. I'm always prepared for every interview that I've ever done, such as this one.
Yes, exactly.
I will say I've done a lot of interviews, and you guys are consistently like number 3 at least on
consistently number 3. Consistently, we're not the worst.
Out of 4, not the worst.
No, seriously.
So, but Sylvie, you were telling us before we got on the air that you were actually going to be premiering a new track for us tonight.
Yeah, it's a Raise This Barn remix. I've been working on it for like a month, since the song came out. It was a really good song.
He plays a violin, I think.
Yeah,
something like that. Pluck it like that.
Funny. Violin and mandolin have the exact same tuning.
That's
ADG. The more you know.
Da, da.
Actually, so I'm actually trying to remember what was my last song. Was it "Find My Wings"?
It was Kindness.
Kindness. Yeah,
Sorry,
that was the big one. That was a lot of fun to do because anytime me and Acoustic Brony can work together, it's always a treat.
That's when the magic happens.
Yeah, absolutely. They're so good. And Jimmy wrote "Loyalty" last time, and I was asking him, okay, so like, what elements are you like? Do you have? Which ones do you not have ideas for right now? And he's like, well, kindness is being kind of tough. So I was like, okay, I'll take that. And so I did some lyrics and stuff and did the music, and then got it to them, and then Ed wrote out the drum track with MIDI and everything, and brought it back to me, and then Jimmy laid down an amazing guitar solo, and